Strong storms this week have left many Suncoast roads flooded at times. How the rainfall is impacting the island of Venice.
Plus, why dozens of local hospitality workers took part in active shooter training today.
And Northport and Sarasota County come to an agreement over who will manage city parks. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight. Topping our news, you don't need to hear it from Bob, but to know how little sun we've seen on the Suncoast this week and how much rain we've had.
That's right. A significant amount of rain means many roads throughout Sarasota and Manatee counties are underwater. ABC 7's Rebecca Fernandez joins us live now from Venice with how this heavy downpour is impacting the island there. Rebecca?
Jacqueline, Scott, well, the storms that have been coming into this area this week are not uncommon, but having so much rain in such a short amount of time is what is causing a mess here in the island. Rain has taken over the Suncoast this week, and even more is still on the way. And while the rain is doing some good, like washing away red tide, it is also bringing floodwaters, especially in coastal communities like Venice.
The storm we had yesterday coincided with a very high tide, which actually makes the flooding worse because the bay is high and you've got the rainfall kind of pushing from the other direction.
The majority of the flooded streets and walkways have been seen in lower lying areas and near the bay. One example, apartment complexes right off of Capri Isle Boulevard.
Around in this parking lot, for instance, it's maybe 2 inches, probably max 3 inches, up to maybe up just to your ankles, but it usually goes away with a day and a half a day.
And that's because of the storm drainage systems that the city of Venice has in place.
So we have a system of pipes and infrastructure throughout the city, but we still get storm events such as this week that overwhelm those pipes. They're just too intense and the pipes can't catch up.
Storm winds have also stirred up debris, which is clogging storm drains and contributing to the flood problems.
If you do notice a clogged storm drain or an area that's been experienced some significant flooding, please let us know. We do have crews that are going around daily cleaning out storm drains, but they can't be everywhere at once. So if there's a certain area you know that has an issue, please let us know and we'll make that a priority.
The Venice Police Department is also urging drivers to use caution and to try to stay off the roads while these storms are passing through. Live in Venice, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC 7, your Suncoast News. Back to you guys.
All right, Rebecca, thank you. Well, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert forecast. Bob?
And I want to show you a graphic that I made up here. This is the storm totals since Friday. Now, these are estimated storm totals, and you can see everyone has had some rainfall, at least an inch, I think, in most areas across the region. But the areas in red and orange are the ones of concern, and right there in Venice and in Nokomis, as well as near Inglewood, a bullseye of some heavy rainfall right there. This is accumulation over the past really 5 days since Friday, and we'll show you 7.1 inches of rainfall and 6.3 near Laurel Road, and also all the way out to I-75, up to 5 inches of rain. Pretty large swath too. So this ground is all saturated right now. And then you go north in Manatee County, up again near Heritage Harbor. They've in Upper Manatee River Road there. You can see that area also has had a lot of rainfall, plus 6 inches in just the past 5 days, and looks like that continues all the way over west of I-75. So lots of rain has fallen. More has again today, and you can see that from the Van Wezel webcam showing that heavy rainfall at times moving on by. Most of it's out in the Gulf of Mexico right now, but we are looking at more showers and storms starting to redevelop down to our south. You can see that the heaviest storms by far, that first wave has moved offshore, and now another one developing just south and east of Venice and Inglewood and Northport. This is moving in your direction, so get ready for another round of showers and thunderstorms. There's still plenty of energy in the atmosphere, and as I said, that is moving off basically to the northwest, and that will clip, it looks like, Northport, Port Charlotte, as well as into Inglewood and up into Venice. So rainfall rates associated with that up to about 1.5 inches per hour. and not over yet, and it looks like it's only going to get wetter as we head into early next week. We'll have more on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Dozens of local hotel, restaurant, and resort workers are now one step closer to being prepared for an active shooter situation. The Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association put on an active shooter training workshop today, along with the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Kathy Duff from the Sheriff's Crime Prevention Unit gave tips to dozens of local managers, clerks, and wait staff in the hospitality industry. She gave them tips about how to react if an emergency situation is developing. The organizer says it's important for workers to be as well versed as students.
Our kids are learning about it. We need to know about it. They're hearing about it in school. We need to all have a plan.
In fact, when asked by a show of hands, many of those taking part say their company did not have a plan in place. That may change after today's seminar.
The Venice Fire Department is undergoing intense search and rescue training for the next week. They're using the massive empty warehouse off of US 41 and turning it into a wide area search and rescue training facility. Firefighters have to go through thick smoke in the dark and overcome obstacles to find the victim they're looking for. The only light they have is a flashlight on their helmet and then a device to find heartbeats. The department says this is a great way for them to practice teamwork and communication while learning how to respond in situations they don't get to practice very often.
Just the expanse of the property, very important that they're searching such an area. It's easy to get disoriented, so the risks would be getting really deep into the building, losing your orientation, and finding your way out. The purpose of this training is to put them under a little stress, get them a little heated, and make them aware that, wow, I'm exhausted, I'm a long way from the door, how do I get back out?
The Englewood Fire Department will be joining Venice firefighters in this training next week so that they can practice working together. Neighboring departments often work together during large search and rescues.
In First Alert Traffic, the state is asking you what improvements you think need to be made to a stretch of US 41 in Sarasota and Manatee counties. The Florida Department of Transportation is focusing on the 2-mile stretch of 41 from University Parkway to Whitfield Avenue. FDOT is conducting a planning study to evaluate what safety improvements need to be made to better accommodate traffic now and in the future for drivers, bicyclists, and pedestrians. The agency is asking people to fill out a survey, and then a study team will analyze those results.
City of Northport and Sarasota County have come to an agreement over the management of city parks. Northport now has more than 2 years to plan for taking over the parks from Sarasota County. County commissioners unanimously approving a request to rescind a termination of the existing parks agreement with the city. Had commissioners not approved the request, the existing agreement would have ended October 1st, leaving the city to manage its parks, which city staff says they are not prepared to do just yet.
ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now. And Richard, some down arrows across the board on Wall Street today.
Across the board, but I have to be honest, all 3 indexes have been up for 4 consecutive days, and just like a little rain in Sarasota, a little rain on Wall Street doesn't hurt. It actually helps in the long run. Yes, it's kind of healthy when the market goes down. I know that sounds strange, but let me, before you get too concerned, let me point out a couple of things. The NASDAQ Composite Index, with 1 day left in the month of August, is on track to have the best month of August since the year 2000, 18 years ago. Well, how's that? The Dow and the S&P 500 are both on track to have their best month of August since 2014. So even though we had a down day, boy, have we had a terrific month, and with 1 day to go, you're certainly going to see record numbers come 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Let's take a look at the closing figures from today. There you see the Dow down 138 points, and that's the biggest loss of the day, down just over 0.5%, closing at 25,986.92. That on volume of 899 million shares. The NASDAQ, which has been leading the market higher today, down 21 points, 0.25% at 8,088.36. That on volume of 1,978 million shares. And the S&P is down 0.4%, 13 points at 2,901.13. Well, what a day and what a year it's been for Amazon. Shares of Amazon today, for the first time ever, traded at $2,000 a share. Yes, $2,000 a share. Actually, intraday got up to $2,025, closed the day at $2,002. Again, that's the first time we've ever seen that. And listen to these statistics. If you had bought shares of Amazon on January 1st of this year, you'll find that the stock is up 833 points, or 71% this year. And for trailing 12 months, if you had bought it on August 30th of last year, you would find out that indeed your investment is up by 110%. It has more than doubled in the last 12 months.
Wow, that's a nice return.
Yeah, absolutely right.
All right, so you've got a disclaimer for us tonight, huh?
Yeah, I just think I want to get it out there. My wife and I are both shareholders of Amazon. We're not exactly Jeff Bezos, but I talk about Amazon quite regularly, and of course it's a huge story, but I just think people should know that in my family we do own shares of Amazon.
Okay. Thank you,
right,
sir.
thank you so
You're
much,
welcome.
Richard.
Coming up, will your homeowner's insurance come through after a hurricane? Why you should review your coverage now.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, is dairy good or bad for you? A new study shows it's not as bad as you may think.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Get more for your money during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Sunset Subaru. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running. Now, lease a new Subaru Forester for just $229 a month or get 0% financing with zero down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Attention, do you have Medicare? Do you want to make sure you have the most benefits and lowest possible out-of-pocket costs? You may be able to lower your out-of-pocket costs and get dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage included in your plan. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now to find out what you deserve.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. Over 3 million people have called the Medicare Coverage Helpline, but there are still many people who don't check to see if they're eligible for more benefits and lower out-of-pocket costs. It's so easy. One simple free call could save you money and get you more benefits. Be smart. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now.
Call now to see if you may be eligible to lower your copays and get extra benefits, including dental and prescription coverage. Don't delay. Call to see if you're able to save money and get more benefits now. Call 1-800-711-7200. Again, call 1-800-711-7200 now.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Severe weather hitting parts of the country. Some people in Wisconsin are convinced they saw a miracle last night after an agonizing 40 minutes. An 11-year-old boy swept away in floodwaters was found alive.
I'm calling because there is a little kid that we think got sucked down a drain by a construction site.
That 911 caller says the boy put his goggles on to go underwater to see what was there, and then he didn't come back up. Authorities and dozens of people searched the area. The boy traveled about 30 feet through that drainage pipe, finding an air pocket to survive. Rescuers had to pry open a manhole cover to finally get him out.
And after a tornado hit in Brandon, Wisconsin, the owner of a dairy farm says he's left with no cattle. Among the 600+ animals, 5 were killed, 20 were injured. The rest are now at other farms. This is video of that damage from that tornado that hit on Tuesday. Also, take a look at this video of severe lightning striking in New York. Strong storms moved through upstate New York yesterday, producing intense lightning near Horseheads. There's no word on if any damage was left behind there.
Last year's hurricanes and wildfires caused people billions of dollars in damages, and those with sufficient homeowners insurance were at least compensated for their losses, but those without coverage suffered. Here are some tips from people who live in areas hit by hurricanes or wildfires last year. 1, review your coverage, check what your insurance covers each year, and then adjust it to correct any shortfalls. Also know what's covered and know what's excluded. Damage from floods and water backups are not included in homeowners policies. You have to buy flood insurance for that. And then opt for full replacement. Many people who filed claims found that they were underinsured. Something to look at this time of year.
Yeah. Absolutely. Tropical depression number 6, or a potential tropical storm, has formed. It's soon to be Florence, so we'll show you that. We'll also show you coming up at 5:30. We're going to take a look at the path of Irma. Irma became a tropical storm on this date last year. Manway's a webcam showing heavy rainfall moving in right around 1:30 across downtown Sarasota, looking out over Sarasota Bay, and then periods of showers occasionally throughout the afternoon have been causing problems for beachgoers up and down West Central Florida. Now another line of storms has developed and is promising to bring some heavy rainfall into Venice once again. It's already seen about 7 inches estimated over the past 5 days there. So more rain on the way. You can see that little pocket of lightning really starting to flare up. That first line has moved out into the Gulf of Mexico, and now another piece of energy is moving through Charlotte County near Punta Gorda, entering into Port Charlotte, Northport soon, and Inglewood starting to get some rainfall out ahead of it already. You can see the motion and movement off to the northwest at around 15 miles an hour. And as far as the cities impacted here, Venice around 6:15, you'll start to see some of this heavy rain, and I think it will hold together. Also into Northport in just a short period of time from now, around 5:42, and Inglewood at 5:25. Already getting some rain in Inglewood, but this is the line I'm talking about moving into your area. Punta Gorda, tremendous amount of lightning there. Port Charlotte starting to see some heavy rainfall, and there's a couple areas that have had 7 inches. The areas in orange and red that you see near Inglewood, also Venice up to Nokomis, and across parts of Manatee County just to the east of I-75 there on State Road 64. The forecast, the futurecast, is calling for scattered showers and storms, again pushing through most of the activity over by 9, and then we'll see some clearing overnight, sunshine to start the day tomorrow. The mornings have been rather sunny, but the afternoons have been clouding up with lines of showers and storms developing. We have high school football action taking place and could see some delays at the start of some of those games again as a result of the southeasterly wind that will be continuing. Now that wind will be pretty brisk, 15 miles an hour. Again, that pushes everything as far as the red tide impacts goes offshore, although it is still a problem out on the barrier islands. For Saturday, look for similar conditions. Now we're going to see this system. This is a tropical wave. The National Hurricane Center giving it a 10% chance of developing into a tropical low of some sort with a closed circulation in the next 5 days. No chance of developing over the next day or so. There it is on the satellite imagery. This is enhanced, showing nothing organized right now. Just a broad area of low pressure, really a line of low pressure moving off to the west, northwest, and that's forecast. This is Sunday now, taking you through Monday and Tuesday. There's a little bit of a tropical wave moving on through. The European had showed that it would be a tropical low at least by Sunday. That isn't going to be the case, it looks like right now, but we have to watch it very closely as we move through time. Now, as far as the tropical tracker is concerned, here's our next system. This is going to be Tropical Storm Florence and possibly Hurricane Florence making its way out into the North Atlantic, and we are looking at, again, this system pushing off toward the west-northwest in time, eventually into the open waters of the Atlantic as a Category 1 hurricane. Once it gets above this latitude, it usually has little impact on the United States, but we'll watch it nonetheless as it makes its way through the open waters of the Atlantic. Looks like it'll be a problem for mariners mainly, although the islands are getting hit there off the coast of Africa. 75 right now. It's cooled as a result of the storms that moved on through. Forecast tomorrow, more showers and storms in the afternoon and evening as a result of this southeasterly wind with lots of moisture still in place. Winds out of the east. I mentioned a little bit brisk to start the morning at 15 knots, subsiding 5 to 10 as that sea breeze tries to get going. It'll actually lessen the winds, but there won't be much chance of a sea breeze. We'll have a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. Your 7-day forecast calls for more of the same. Showers and storms each and every afternoon. Maybe a little bit more activity on Monday and Tuesday as a result of that tropical wave. Temperatures into the upper 80s to low 90s through the next 7. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thanks. Let's check First Alert traffic. We're seeing a crash in the northbound lanes of I-75. This is just before you get to the Clark Road exit, and it is blocking the left lane there, slowing traffic a little bit, but even southbound traffic a little slow at this hour. Jacqueline?
Scott, in health news tonight, the Food and Drug Administration is warning 21 more websites to stop selling opioids online. The warning letters note that the opioids being sold on these websites might be counterfeit, contaminated, or expired. The agency says some of the drugs being sold by these online businesses are actually a dangerous form of pressed fentanyl. Regulators also warned that buying these drugs online can put consumers at risk of credit card fraud, identity theft, and computer viruses. Could banned drugs be in your meat? A hallucinogenic party drug, an anti-inflammatory too risky for human use, and a powerful antibiotic linked to deadly anemia are all drugs prohibited in meat consumed in the U.S. Yet government data obtained by Consumer Reports suggest that trace amounts of these and other banned or restricted drugs may be appearing in U.S. meat supplies more often than we thought. The data raises serious concerns about the safeguards put in place to protect the U.S. meat supply. And is dairy good or bad for you? New research suggests that the current advice to limit dairy intake should be reconsidered, especially for those who consume yogurt and cheese as opposed to milk. Whole milk still appears to increase the risk of heart disease, but most other dairy products, especially cheese and yogurt, were found to protect against death from any cause and death from cerebrovascular causes. Most doctors still recommend limiting whole milk dairy products and your cheese portions. Coming up, new video released of a deadly accident involving an Uber driver, plus the world's first indoor farm built inside a tunnel. Those stories coming up.
Temperatures are rising and the deals are heating up during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new 2018 Jeep Wranglers. Or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most.
Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Now to the video of a deadly incident in Winter Haven that involved an Uber driver in the state's latest Stand Your Ground case. The moments leading up to the phone call were all captured on a dash cam as well. Take a look.
I say something? Oh my God. Oh my God. I just shoot you.
Uber driver Robert Westlake is claiming self-defense, telling Polk County Sheriff's deputies the man was trying to force him off the road after tailing him aggressively. Deputies are now investigating, but Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd telling the Tampa Bay Times this is a textbook Stand Your Ground case. Hurricane Lane started lashing Hawaii with its powerful winds last week, sparking torrential rainfall and flooding across the islands. This is terrifying footage at Rainbow Falls, and it shows that raging waters as Lane continued to dump heavy rains on the island. The world's first indoor vertical farm has been created in South Korea. Take a look. The high-tech facility is being seen as a possible solution to various issues, including crops increasingly being damaged by extreme weather. Fruits and vegetables grow hydroponically with no soil in vertically stacked layers inside and lit by neon pink LEDs instead of sunlight. The next plan is for more tiers of crops in the remaining 2/3 of the tunnel to grow high-value fruits and medicinal herbs.
Smiles all around as these women get to know these baby goats. Now new research suggests that goats are just as happy being with smiling humans. A study by scientists in London provides the first evidence that goats can differentiate between human facial expressions and prefer to interact with happy people. They say this shows domesticated animals used for production are aware of human emotional cues, and it may highlight the impact of domestication on animals' cognitive abilities. I'd like to think that my dog thinks I'm happy and knows that when I'm happy.
This explains goat yoga and its popularity.
There you go. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, coyote sightings on Longboat Key. Experts tell us how you can protect yourself and your pets.
Plus, how the Labor Day weekend will be affected by red tide conditions, what some area businesses are doing to draw customers to beach areas.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Don't hide it. We know that sometimes emotions just get the better of you, especially at the Honda Summer Spectacular event. And we know getting a deal on the Honda Civic, a 2018 KBB.com Best Buy, can be quite liberating, especially when this stylish Honda Civic comes with Sport Mode.
Yes! Yes!
Express what you're feeling at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
I'm happy you're happy.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Civic today.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Imagine a world filled with pillow fights, playgrounds, and the search for the perfect climbing tree. Every kid deserves that world, but 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger. At No Kid Hungry, We're committed to creating a world where every kid eats healthy food every day. We raise funds, we help families, and we lift up communities.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org/conservation.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
You are watching ABC 7 News at 5:30.
Welcome back. For the first time in at least 4 years, coyotes have been spotted on Longboat Key. Some of the residents there are now saying they're worried about leaving their homes.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, or FWC, held a free workshop to try and answer questions about the wild animals. But the only question anyone seemed to care about was how do we get rid of them? ABC 7's Adam Cellini was at today's workshop on Longboat Key. He joins us now live from the island. Adam?
Yeah, Scott and Jacqueline, the FWC staff that showed up here tried to give a crowded room in the town hall right here some tips and tricks for coexisting with coyotes because, as they say, it may be the only option. A round of applause for an FWC presentation on coyotes Thursday was quickly followed by tough questions for Longboat town staff.
What's the town's position? Are we just going to let this exist?
Coyote sightings are picking up on the island near homes and even on golf courses, where Myron Bernstein's wife spotted one 2 days ago.
How can we stop it before it gets going and it becomes commonplace?
It was a difficult answer for the team of FWC staffers who explained one by one why trapping the 4-foot, 25 to 40-pound animals is very difficult and can hurt other wildlife or even pets who get caught by accident.
There's no way to completely eradicate them. It's just going to be one after the other after the other.
Town manager Tom Harmer explained there had already been conversations with trappers who also advised against it.
There's not an easy answer, and I think that's what everyone heard today. It's difficult to trap a coyote. There's challenges with that and how that may impact other domestic pets, and we just want to be careful.
Some felt empowered by the tips the FWC provided, like sealing trash and pet food and keeping pets on leashes. If you see a coyote, staff says to make noise and never turn and run away. But the majority of this crowd seemed to want them gone.
We should not have to walk around with shakers, noisemakers, figuring out ways to stop this.
Like alligators in other areas that we don't have on Longboat Key, coyotes are a predator that equalize the population of the other animals such as rats, which we have plenty of on the island.
Still, the town says they're not ruling out removal, which is most effective when the coyotes are eventually put down. It's just too early at this time to make that final decision. Now, without taking the time to actually come out here and mark the coyotes, it's hard for the FWC to estimate just how many are out here on the island. But they say due to the 11-mile stretch and the fact that it's surrounded by water, it's likely only 2 family groups of coyotes could survive out here for a long period of time. And as we mentioned, removal very difficult, but the town working to come up with solutions for its residents. And today, I think everyone believed was a step forward. Reporting live on Longboat Key, I'm Adam Cellini. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Adam, thank you. Florida Fish and Wildlife temporarily making snook and redfish available for catch and release purposes only in areas impacted by red tide. That executive order is for the area along the Gulf from Anna Maria Island in Manatee County all the way down to the Suncoast, ending in Collier County. FWC says that the order will remain in effect until they can reassess conditions at their next commission meeting in late September.
As we head into the Labor Day weekend, there's some encouraging news on red tide. Today on Siesta Beach, no dead fish were seen along the water line, but the waters are still a kind of a murky red color. Businesses in Siesta Village say typically this place would be already packed for the Labor Day weekend. So to help get customers there, some restaurants and stores are kicking off great deals this weekend.
Our main concern right now is trying to do something to help our employees. We're an employee-first company. We really care about our employees, and we want everybody to obviously make money, and no one is right now. So small businesses have definitely been affected out on Siesta Key.
Spellman says they're offering buy one, get one free drinks and appetizers at the Hub and the Cottage at Siesta Village. It starts today, it goes on until further notice, and they're not alone. A lot of businesses are doing that same sort of thing.
Right.
They try to get people out there to support them.
Well, good luck to them all. And also some storms in our area causing some problems. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Yes, good afternoon. Heavy rainfall once again occurring across parts of the Suncoast now in South Sarasota County. We've already had our share this afternoon across parts of most of the Suncoast. Now another line has popped up. The heavier weather that was through is now well to the west of us, but now this line is really intensified near Port Charlotte, Northport, all the way down into Inglewood, where they don't need any more rainfall. They've had over 7 inches estimated by the Doppler radar over the past 5 days now, and you can see a tremendous amount of lightning too, and that is going to be a big problem as it moves into Venice. Venice already saturated, and more rain is on the way. The rainfall rate pretty impressive too. This is the line that you see right here. We have more developing to the east of that. It is moving off to the northwest. Some cities that will be impacted right now. We already have it in Warm Mineral Springs, South Venice at 5:47. Venice, the island, right around 6 o'clock. Could be a little bit sooner, but again, Osprey right around 6:30 or so. I think that'll be a little sooner too. Here's the heavy rainfall. Tarpon Point, Murdoch, Inglewood, Grove City. Rainfall rates over 2 inches per hour. That's causing treacherous driving conditions. So if you have any trips planned along I-75 right now in South Sarasota County, you might want to hold off for about an hour. Winds from the radial velocity, these are into the clouds or at the base of the storm, so they're up about 40. That would translate to surface winds around 30 miles an hour. Could be a little higher as these storms intensify, moving off to the northwest. So expect some gusty winds, heavy rain, and frequent lightning in South Sarasota County over the next hour or so. The futurecast showing that that line will move through, and then we'll still have the potential for some other storms out in Longboat Key as well as in the Manatee County. Most of the action will be over by 9, although this model indicated we may even see some overnight storms still lingering up until around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then we'll start off with partly cloudy skies for drop-off for school. Well, much more in our forecast coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. It's the final day in Arizona for John McCain. The 6th-term senator died Saturday at the age of 81. His casket now headed to Washington, D.C. after a memorial service earlier today in Phoenix. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez shows us how thousands came out to celebrate his life.
The procession route lined with waving flags and old campaign signs, leading here to North Phoenix Baptist Church for this moving memorial service celebrating the life of John McCain. Amazing grace. McCain's adopted daughter Bridget.
To everything there is a season.
And son Andy reading Bible verses chosen by their father for this day.
I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race.
Former Vice President Joe Biden.
I always thought of John as a brother. We had a hell of a lot of family fights.
Offering the family this message of empathy and love.
And I know right now the pain you all are feeling is so sharp and so hollowing. Because you shared John with all of us your whole life, the world now shares with you the ache of John's death.
Others sharing stories of McCain's heroism and humor, his faith and devotion to his family and the country he loved.
His legacy will go on for generations because people will talk about Senator John McCain as one of the greatest heroes in our lifetime.
And the services continue tomorrow in Washington, D.C. McCain's body will lie in state at the Capitol before another memorial on Saturday. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Phoenix.
After weeks of uncertainty, former Trump campaign aide George Papadopoulos is reportedly sticking with his guilty plea agreement with special counsel Robert Mueller. His wife, Simona Mangiante, made that announcement on Wednesday. Last year, Papadopoulos pleaded guilty to lying to FBI agents in the Russia probe. The Department of Justice said he negatively affected the investigation and delayed the FBI in identifying witnesses. Mangiante said her husband will take responsibility for some inaccuracies. She also called them irrelevant to the case, adding that she hopes the judge will see her husband's lack of, quote, criminal intention.
Cannabis oil is now being used to treat dogs and cats, and the products are available throughout the Suncoast. ABC 7's Alan Cohn joins us now with a look at what's coming up tonight on ABC 7 at 7. Alan?
Scott, CBD oil for pets is a new trend. Since the legalization of marijuana, veterinarians say it has become much more popular. However, CBD oil is not marijuana and does not have any THC in it, which is what gives people a high. Traditional marijuana, those who use it describe it as a natural and healthy way to treat common illnesses and diseases, and it's now being used to treat stress, anxiety, and even seizures in household pets.
They're for dogs and cats, and we have a bacon-flavored dog one. There's a tuna-flavored one for cats. There are milk-bone-infused CBD oil, things that you can buy on the internet.
Coming up tonight at 7, we are taking a look at what CBD oil is and how exactly it is being used to treat animals. We'll discuss any possible side effects and hear what vets are thinking in terms of using the oil as a treatment. Scott, back to you.
Alan, thank you. We'll see you tonight. Still to come in your Suncoast News, how a new test can identify whether a mosquito is known to carry diseases.
Plus, some big news for bilingual families who use Google Assistant. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Temperatures are rising and the deals are heating up during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. The Ram 1500 has been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy for 6 years in a row. Get an all-new 2019 Ram Quad Cab for as little as $24,999, or save big and get up to $13,000 off a new Ram Bighorn Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Our smartphones help us with many different tasks in life, and according to a new study, they can also help us spot dangerous mosquitoes. ABC's Janae Norman shows us how.
In this day and age, we all rely on our smartphones to get us through our daily lives, from waking us up in the mornings to telling us where we need to be at all times. And now they might also help us figure out whether mosquitoes around us are of the dangerous kind. Researchers at the University of Texas at Austin developed a new tool that uses a smartphone camera, a small 3D printed box, and a simple chemical test to show whether mosquitoes are the kind that carry disease-causing viruses. Using advanced genetic techniques, the test delivers a simple yes or no readout on a smartphone. Yes means the mosquito is the type that can carry diseases like Zika and dengue fever, and no means it isn't. Current testing methods are hard to interpret, expensive, and time-consuming. Scientists hope the new smartphone test will represent a big step forward for monitoring the spread of mosquito-borne illnesses. As for us, it seems we will continue to add to the list of things possible with a smartphone. With this Medical Minute, I'm Janae Norman, ABC News.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Storms are rolling through. This one captured earlier today near Turtle Beach. Dave, Light Chop Dave, out there getting some nice photos of those towering cumulonimbus racing off toward the northwest. Now that's that first line that moved through. Now another one really starting to intensify. As we told you earlier, this is the one we'll be watching here over the next couple of hours as it progresses off to the northwest at around 15 miles an hour. Again, the heavy rainfall in Inglewood. It won't be around there much longer in Inglewood, but still getting lightning strikes even after the heavy rain has moved through. That's been a trend all week long. You can see that as well near Northport, getting some pretty heavy downpours right now. It is all moving off to the northwest. So Venice now a little earlier, 5:55, and 6:04 now in Laurel. Osprey right around 6:23. It's already in South Venice. The tops of these storms up to about 45,000 feet. Not looking at anything severe, but it looks like you will get some pretty heavy rainfall. The rainfall rates up to 2 inches per hour with some of this near Inglewood Isle Parkway, Minnesota Key Road. Some heavy rainfall there, as well as Old Inglewood Road getting some intense downpours. Well, the forecast tonight calling for that line to move off to the northwest. And another one possibly developing later on this evening. Most of it should be over, I suspect, by 9, although that model showed around 11 o'clock. I think it'll be over by then. We'll look for more storms to pop up tomorrow afternoon, so pick up for the kids, maybe a little bit on the wet side as it has been for the past several days. Drop off not bad, though, as far as driving goes. The Saturday's forecast calling for nice start. We'll see the sunshine in the morning, afternoon, and evening, though. Different story. Same old routine as we're in this summer pattern. Well, out in the tropics, we're watching this tropical wave. It's over parts of Hispaniola now and also into Puerto Rico. We have some heavy storms around there. Clusters of them, though. They're not centered around the area of low pressure. The Hurricane Center giving us a 10% chance developing over the next 5 days. We'll watch it over the past 12 hours. You can see some flare-up of storms there, and so there's a chance, but notice how these clouds are kind of all moving off to the northeast there. That's that strong shear in the upper levels of the atmosphere due mainly to El Nino, which is expected to be sticking around for the next at least a couple of months, but still that won't inhibit all the storms from developing like this one out here in the far reaches of the Atlantic. That is a potential tropical storm, number 6, soon to be Florence, and could become a hurricane, but notice the path. It starts to take off to that northwest around the periphery of a high pressure ridge just to the north of that system, and so it looks like that'll be mainly a storm for mariners out there. 75 right now. That's what it feels like too as a result of the rain cool there. Pressure at 30.02 inches. The high today still managed to get to 89, pretty close to the average. A nice comfortable start this morning at 71. And we are expecting similar conditions again tomorrow with the heat index up near 100. Well, here's the forecast then. As it shakes out for boaters tomorrow, winds will be a bit stronger out of the southeast. That won't allow that sea breeze to develop much, but it won't take much for showers and storms to develop. They'll subside somewhat, 5 to 10 knots in the afternoon as a result of that sea breeze trying to kick in. Water temperature now at 87 degrees. As far as the forecast goes then, not a lot of change. A good chance for showers and storms through the afternoon each and every day, right through the holiday weekend. I know there'll be a lot of boaters out there. Get it in early because those afternoon storms will be around and could be rather intense. That tropical wave, even if it's just a tropical wave, will enhance our storms on Tuesday, maybe even sooner than that, depending upon the speed of it. We'll keep an eye on that for you. It doesn't appear that it's going to be anything significant as far as strong winds go. Centralized area of low pressure would have to develop if that were the case. We'll keep an eye on it. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Time now to check your first alert traffic for the drive home. We are seeing some traffic on US 41 in both the north and southbound lanes as you pass through the State Road 70 intersection. Scott?
In consumer news, a new study finds a third of Floridians risk home break-ins by posting on social media while they're on vacation. News site Security Barron surveyed 2,000 Americans to find out how many publicly announce on social media where and when they're going on vacation or post online while they are away. The survey found that Floridians are more likely to put their homes at risk of a break-in, with 33% confessing that they do post on social media when they're traveling. Not all people, though, are worry-free. Over a quarter would consider not taking an extended vacation as they don't like the idea of leaving their home vacant. So if you thought Siri and Alexa were smart, then you may find the latest advancement even more intimidating. Google Assistant can understand and speak 2 languages at the same time. This is big news for bilingual families. They can now do things like request music and check the weather in 2 languages without changing the settings. Google Assistant is the first major voice-controlled digital helper to have that capability, and that could help the search giant lure customers away from Amazon's Alexa and Apple's Siri.
Sales are sliding at the country's biggest sporting goods store, and the head of the company says he knows why. Ed Stack, the CEO of Dick's Sporting Goods, is placing the blame squarely on the Under Armour brand and its decision to start selling in department stores like Kohl's and Macy's. The brand is trying to break out of a slump and reach more middle-income shoppers. Kohl's has said Under Armour sales have surged since the expanded partnership began, but that has left Dick's Sporting Goods in a bind. And Starbucks is quietly testing out healthier Frappuccino recipes in a bid to entice Frappuccino lovers. Starbucks said Frappuccino sales dropped because people are now more health conscious. For more than a year, the company has been testing new recipes in stores across California, Missouri, and Rhode Island. The new Frappuccino contains fewer calories and less sugar. The new recipes are all part of Starbucks' effort to reduce sugar in its indulgent beverages by 25% by the year 2020. Those things can add up, the sugar in those.
Will they taste as good?
Probably not. We'll see.
Entertainment news is next.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value and great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
When I was growing up, my mom told us, always treat others the way you want to be treated. She did business with companies that shared her values, like Mutual of Omaha. She had a guaranteed whole life insurance policy through United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, a Mutual of Omaha company. When my mother passed away, her United of Omaha policy helped cover her funeral expenses and bills, and they had money on its way to us within 24 hours.
United of Omaha is here to take care of you. When you call the number on your screen, we'll help find the right policy for you. If you're between 45 and 85, you can get coverage up to $25,000 with no medical exam. Call us right now at the number on your screen.
Now I know I'll be taking care of my family, even after I'm gone.
United of Omaha guaranteed whole life insurance. Call or go online now. Be there for their future.
It's hard to see when you're outside at night. It's time for the Atomic Beam Sunblast, the new solar-powered light that's super bright. Atomic Beam Sunblast lets you add a light anywhere, and the atomic solar panels charge the built-in lithium-ion battery quickly. Then the 180-degree motion sensor turns on the light when you get near and automatically turns off when you disappear. Look, here's a best-selling outdoor solar light, and here's the Super Bright Atomic Beam Sunblast. Get the Super Bright Atomic Beam Sunblast for only $19.99. But wait, call right now and you can double your order and get a second Sunblast, plus our best-selling Atomic Beam Flashlight. Just pay a separate fee. That's 2 Atomic Beam Sunblasts and the Atomic Beam Flashlight. Call now.
call 1-800-431-6640. That's 1-800-431-6640. Or visit mysunblast.com. So call 1-800-431-6640. Order now.
Another pair of satisfied emotions. Looks to me like elation and maybe some amazement. It's part of the Honda Summer Spectacular Event experience. You could say satisfaction comes standard here, just like the Honda Accord comes standard with a luxurious, roomy interior. All at the Honda Summer Spectacular Event.
We see it all the time.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Accord, 2018's North American Car of the Year.
A Connecticut man who hacked into more than 200 iCloud accounts of Hollywood stars has now been sentenced to 8 months in prison.
George Garofano was one of 4 men arrested in the 2014 hacking scandal that led to private photos of Jennifer Lawrence, Kirsten Dunst, Kate Upton, and others being made public. Authorities say the hackers used a phishing scheme that sent emails appearing to be from Apple that asked for usernames and passwords. Garofano pleaded guilty in April and asked for leniency, saying that he faces a lifetime loss of rights because of the felony conviction.
We'll add another big star to Aretha Franklin's already star-studded send-off tomorrow. Ariana Grande will take the stage this after she wowed audiences with a tribute to the Queen of Soul on The Tonight Show the night Franklin died. Stevie Wonder and Faith Hill also among the performers who will perform at the service.
One of Steven Spielberg's most celebrated films will be re-released later this year for its 25th anniversary. A digitally restored and remastered Schindler's List will be back in theaters in December. Spielberg is overseeing that process. Meanwhile, Tom Cruise's Top Gun sequel is going to circle for a little while longer. It's being pushed back a year to the summer of 2020. Word is the extra time will allow the filmmakers to make the flight sequences even better.
You say.
Prince Harry stealing the show in London Wednesday night when he burst into song after his charity showing of the U.S. hip-hop musical Hamilton. That was a number sung by the character of King George III, who happens to be Harry's 6th great-grandfather. The show was held to raise money for the Duke of Sussex's foundation. His charity works with children and young people who are affected by HIV.
Well, Eddie Murphy is going to be a father for the 10th time. The actor and comedian's publicist says the 57-year-old and longtime girlfriend, Paige Butcher, are expecting their 2nd child in December. Their daughter, Izzy, is 2 years old. Murphy began a relationship with the Australian model in 2012. His oldest child is 29.
Busy.
Well, stay with us. We'll be right back with more news and weather.